I am Mark Stewart Greenstein. I used to be a Republican, but about 20 years ago, they disappointed and I switched. I'm now a Democrat, but their leaders now disappoint even more. So you might still like me. I am not a progressive. Progressive leaders are ruining this country. And progressives are hurting the state. Perhaps they've hurt you directly. Let's see. Raise your hand if you are an employer who now has a hard time finding good workers. Yeah? So thank our government for that. We have a state with too many people who don't want to work. And why should they? Staying on welfare gets you an income of nearly $50,000 a year. That's food stamps, housing benefit, Medicaid, Medicare, counseling, and education grants. Oh, and these aren't even taxed, so the benefit puts now the average after-tax benefit at $55,000 a year. I am the candidate who would replace government welfare with private welfare. Private welfare is better. I'm the candidate who would thus cut government welfare to the bone. We can do it. We just need will. And the more bleak our budget projections are, the more I look good. The more we catch them fudging numbers, the more willing the state's voters will be to a governor like me who will dramatically restructure the government. Progressive problem question 2. How many of you are incensed when you read about state workers retiring in their 40s and entitled to $2 million in pensions? For current employees, we can't do anything about it. They're the beneficiaries of the dopes and the dupes in the legislature who couldn't freaking multiply. But for future employees, we can do something about it. I would like to pay really good state workers more, but no pension. This governor will not sign a contract containing a pension. Look, we still might get some liberals into the General Assembly who are going to fight this. If a pension passes, it does so over my veto. And with it, we call out, yes, you, call out every assemblyman who voted for it and target them to be removed. You have that power. This is the year you take it. Now, I would like to be inaugurated with a good General Assembly. Connecticut not only needs a forceful governor, but an assembly that'll go back to the solid, steady state that our government once provided. The land of steady habits. Frankly, if you had to have one over the other, a governor like me or a General Assembly like we had 80 years ago, take the latter. I'll relinquish and watch. Maybe have both. A forceful governor and a good General Assembly, and that equals a much better Connecticut. Our ailments are due to government, not industriousness, education, resources. Not a problem. Let me turn to specifics about construction and transportation. Cars, start with them. They are on the wane with millennials. I understand millennials. They're very efficient workers. They multitask so darn well with their devices. To them, driving is this terrible waste of time. They get on a bus or a train, and these kids, they still work, they still study, they still socialize. Why drive? So that would spell the end of cars. But one thing will save cars for millennials. What is that? Smart cars. They drive from point to point with no driver needed. Lyft is using them now. Trucks. Trucks might not come back. The average trucker 10 years from now is going to be the emergency passenger in a self-driving rig. He will sit in what's nearly a traveling office. His job will be to stay on the phone and do extra computer service with his computer. Where is it best to leave this package, madam? Or, sir, can my delivery of fruit stay on your loading dock? He or she, because lifting will be not nearly as important in trucking, they'll be controlling drones from that passenger office. Drones able to deliver the final 100 yards to a homeowner's doorstep. Yeah, Jetson's world is coming. And I want to help you take advantage of it. You who are in transport as a business should be looking into how you'll use drone flights, and I will support you. I've already spoken with the Connecticut Airport Authority about drones near their 5 airports. I'm a fan of legislation that's permissive. I'm a libertarian. Governor Malloy has announced dire cuts in transportation spending. We will do what's needed. But we'll do it at less expense. Okay, just microcosm. You drive on the Merritt Parkway. You're slowed down by somebody being paid a lot to cut grass during the day. And a flagman who's paid to watch him cut grass. Cut it at night. We could have almost no transportation people dealing with traffic flow if we actually close the highway down for a weekend. Okay? For one weekend, announced well in advance, you can employ workers who want to make an extra $1,000. You could have them on 24/7 for 48 hours or different shifts, but get them on 48 hours, and the project gets done in what otherwise takes a month. More building? I'm in favor. It might not be so many roads, but how about schools? My first 500 plan. Have any of you seen it? It's to help fund new schools. At $10 million to $100 million a pop, this is going to be really good revenue for private contractors. Yes, I would build a new XL center. I'd build it anew. We don't want to tinker around $30, $40 million little repairs. Get a new center. And with it, we can attract an NHL team. As some of you know, I'm in the forefront of trying to get the Whalers back. As for those 2 really big projects, tunneling under I-84, or I-84 under downtown Hartford, I'm ambivalent. But if the feds are still going to fund 90%, and we get $25 billion into the state for our contractors, I'm for it. We'll find the extra 10%. So here I say to Congressman Larson, go for it. And let's go big with this Long Island tunnel, okay? How about getting Rosa DeLauro on the train for a tunnel where then we'd be paying just 5%, and we'd be getting 1.5 million more people easily driving to the southern coast of Connecticut. I'm going to go for that too.